Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in today with the CPC Strategy and Search Spring webinar. We're going to get started now. So if you are tuning in, it is a good time to turn on your volume and start paying attention. Again, thank you and welcome to our webinar on converting high with site search. We're happy to be joined today by search veteran Kyle Wilson from Search Spring. Kyle has some great information to help you drive traffic and conversions on your site. So, some quick webinar housekeeping before we begin. My name is Mary. I'm the Director of Content here at CPC Strategy, and I'll be driving this webinar today. We ask that you keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times. At CPC, we're about making retail search easy, so please feel free to reach out to me personally or anyone at CPC with any questions during or following the webinar. We'll be recording this webinar, so if you need to watch today's super game or if you're getting ready for the 4th, we'll be following up with a recording email later this week. And if you don't get that, again, you can reach out to me personally. Additionally, if you have any questions during the webinar, you can use the chat box to the right. We'll be following up after the presentation with a Q&A with myself, so feel free to ask questions there. During and following the webinar, you can also reach out using the Twitter hashtag CPCwebinar. Alrighty, a little about CPC Strategy before we begin. At CPC, we help online retailers increase conversions by matching online shopper intent with your products on search. So what does that mean? More specifically, we help retailers sell more on search channels like Google by highlighting relevant products for the right search. We've been working with Google since day one and recently received a Google Shopping Partner status, which is a really big deal in this field. We put out a ton of instructional guides and videos to help you succeed with Google, Amazon, and Bing. And you can find some of that content on the CPC Strategy blog and also at cpcstrategy.com. And so feel free to use those resources to help you learn and grow your campaign. And so a little bit about our speaker today. Again, our speaker is Kyle Wilson, who is a veteran search expert from Search Spring. I'll let Kyle kind of go more into detail about himself and how you can use site search to boost your sales.
Alrighty. Well, thank you, Mary. Is the floor mine at this point?
You got it.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for showing up today. Thanks for the intro there, Mary. My name is Kyle Wilson with Search Spring. So she mentioned I've been in the field for about 2 years now, and we have quite a few things to talk about in terms of dialing in or enhancing the functionality of search and navigation. So with Search Spring, we power over 600 clients. I personally have been involved in over 225 integrations across multiple platforms, multiple industries. I've come to find out that search is both art and science. There's not a one-size-fits-all cookie-cutter search solution that will meet everybody's needs. So you need someone who is versatile, knows what tools are available, has seen similar problems before, been able to solve them, and can just point you in the right direction. So if you ever want to see more about Search Spring and CPC, we were featured in their latest interview, and Mary will shoot that link off to you during the follow-up as well. So Search Spring, who are we? What do we do? How is it all done? If I do my job effectively today, when you think of on-site search, I want you to think of Search Spring. So on-site search, learning search, dynamic navigation. Now, we're going to focus today on just the industry of third-party search, how it benefits your conversion rate, how it benefits optimization, customer loyalty, and the efforts provided by CPC Strategy. So how does on-site search complement CPC? Well, if you're driving more traffic to the website, are these users finding the products that they're looking for efficiently? Is your conversion rate lifting equal to the lift that you've seen in traffic? Are shoppers returning after the initial purchase? Are you cultivating long-term customers via an enhanced shopping experience? And are you learning from users moving forward? Regardless of if the order went through, transaction was complete, or if it was a shopping cart bail, and now you're trying to recapture that individual, how can you take the data collected from site engagement and scale it to improve your recapture efforts or enhance the internal site usability. So in a whole, a third-party search solution is going to help improve the relevancy of your results. It's going to help engage shoppers to refine, go into the product page, and then obviously make that conversion or checkout better data. So throughout this webinar today, I'll be circling back to a mutual client share between CPC and SearchSpring from water.com. Again, the goal here is to highlight the value of using a third-party search. And we'll show you. So main thing with search, relevancy. With relevancy, third-party solution should be offering you a learning search algorithm. And what that means is as user preferences evolve through changes in seasonality, as you add new products to your inventory, as things go out of stock, how are your results updating dynamically? Obviously, you don't want someone going through each and every search result page, category page, and manually inputting where you want products to rank. So a learning search solution should dynamically elevate product rank as user behavior evolves or as inventory changes day to day. So these are some of the main points that are viewed when tracking user experience or user engagement points within the site. So what is that individual looking for? What are they then clicking on within that result page? What are they adding to their cart? Out of the box, a learning search solution will elevate product rank based off of item popularity and conversion rate. And like I mentioned earlier, I've come to find out that everybody has a different definition of what's relevant to them. So a learning solution should also incorporate the ability to tweak or customize that algorithm. So if you were to think of your online store much like you would a brick-and-mortar store, what products are you putting on the mannequin? What products are you putting towards the front of your storefront? What are you pushing towards the back? A learning algorithm can help you set up that same type of merchandising, or in this case, searchandising for your users. So a couple examples. Some clients may have inventory from last season. New inventory is coming in within the next 60 to 90 days. Clear space in the warehouse, and they want to push out that outdated merchandise. So they come and they say, hey, let's add a boost to all of our products that are on sale. These are the items that we want to push to the front of our storefront. That way they get most engagement, and that's where the conversions are taking place. 2-3 months down the road, new inventory has finally arrived. Since there's not previous click data, conversion data on those items, but we know these are the products we want customers to engage with, we can drop, or your third-party search solution can drop the boost for sale and then switch it to new. SearchSpring specifically, this is all built into a management console, and it's click of the mouse to control. So it's not something that's a one-time setup. It's scalable, and it should be able to match or complement your internal sales and promotional campaigns moving forward. So, a real live example with a brand I think everybody can understand and relate to is Levi's. If you integrated a learning search solution, you're the e-commerce manager for Levi's.com. If you were to get into a result page for women's tops, month and life, obviously it's summer, customers are looking for lightweight, short sleeve, very just breathable items to combat the heat. If you were to perform that same search or get into that same result page during the month of January, when things are colder, weather's a little more frigid, user engagement is then going to elevate the products that are related, longer sleeves, thicker material, what's going to be warm. So dynamically elevating rank, product rank, or downgrade product rank based on user preference. Looking at a current solution now is airandwater.com. Obviously, we're in July. We'll more search for Air King. You'll notice that all the cooling items are promoted to the first page of the results. If you paginate up into page 5, then you'll come across the heating products offered by this brand. User engagement has dictated where heating products rank and where cooling products rank. And this is all being elevated dynamically via learning search. Another way to improve relevancy is to map variant queries. So this in the industry referred to as a synonym database. So synonyms can be used to correct common spellings or variant keywords. Now, last few months I have been in the dungeon doing nothing but marketing for SearchSpring, so I'm very SearchSpring mind-oriented right now. And if I do say SearchSpring, it's simply a synonym for third-party search, so bear with me there. But synonyms can help map variant queries such as V-neck shirt, T-shirt spelled out, short sleeve shirt, all to the original keyword listed in the data feed. This application is also used to correct common misspellings. So within the report section, customers are looking for that they're not finding. What are some common did you mean suggestions that are being displayed? This is the cue to add those user behaviors to a synonym database. In terms of increasing engagement, what really engages shoppers, and how do you know if there's an issue with the engagement on your site? At the end of the day, engagement stems to familiarity. When a customer lands on a result page within eBay, Amazon, or Walmart, birds of a feather flock together. All three of these conglomerate e-commerce sites are providing dynamic navigation. So not necessarily drilling down off of a category, then selecting a subcategory, then selecting a sub-subcategory before you see results. With these organizations, as soon as you click into something like furniture, it's not going to ask you tables, sofas, chairs, tables. They're going to show you results that allow you to drill down off of the attributes associated to your buying decision. So color, price, rating, material. These are the attributes that serve up an engaging navigation path. And it's all done via the attributes within the product data feed. You can also encourage engagement through image-based refinements. So again, going back to our example client, Air and Water, you'll notice that they're using actual star images for the refinement versus just the text base. And you can compare and contrast what was available pre the integration of a third-party search and then after. As a user, I would be more inclined to go with the after, just because I can drill down off of the material for my grill, the price range, the ratings. These are what attributes are going to validate and finalize my purchasing decision. Before, we're forced to paginate through each and every page to find out what is the size of the grill, what are the accessories that come with it. So just a lot more heavy lifting on the user end on the before side. After, it just dynamically narrows it down to a handful of products, and then you can make a validated purchasing decision from there. Just to reiterate again, in terms of category navigation, the built-in functionality offered through a third-party search, recognition of parent-child attributes. So for airandwater.com, one attribute could be gas type or fuel type. Gas, charcoal, both, hybrid. Those would be the parent attributes associated to the grill being a child. You can also use those image-based filters for size grid, color palettes, price sliders. Again, all about engagement and making the refinement process as simple as possible. Now, if we ever do add new products to your inventory, totally brand new attributes, the best way to pass off attributes to any third-party solution is to parse out that data into a separate feed or field within the feed. So basically you can't have price, size, color data all parsed into a description field. Color would need to be its own field, size would need to be its own field, and material or anything that you want to build a refinement option off of just needs to be an individual field. Again, it's something that we would help you out with and kind of map out what needs to be done or what looks good. So the way to increase user engagement is through search. So out of the 600 plus clients that we power, we've identified on average about 10 to 20% of user behavior or total users engage with search. And with autocomplete or predictive search solution, 1 out of every 3 users ends up selecting one of the products that we recommend. We can also be a little proactive in terms of normalizing or optimizing internal functionality. So a search suggestion application should incorporate the built-in spell check, a built-in stemming, so shoe versus shoes, should yield consistent results, and then synonyms. Running shoes, athletic shoes, football shoes, basketball shoes, you probably are going to want them to yield the same number of results, and then the keyword should dictate where those products rank within that result page. Better data. So with a third-party search, you can identify some pretty opportunistic areas to improve the site. Number one would be inventory control. 2, internal optimization, identifying common misspellings or variant queries. And 3, scaling out your product data feed by seeing what attributes customers are searching for. For the 4 reports I find carries the most actionable data would include a popular search with 0 results, popular did you mean suggestions, referring query activity, popular filters. So a popular search with 0 results shines a light on synonym opportunities and inventory opportunities. What are your customers looking for that they're not finding, and why aren't they finding it? Are they looking for a product or a brand? If the answer is yes, does demand justify the expansion of your inventory to now offer that product? If the answer is yes, we've just identified inventory opportunity. If the answer is no, how can we eliminate that 0 result from occurring? Can we redirect them to a similar product page or result page to ensure that there's still some engagement in elevating the potential for a conversion? Do we want to let them know, hey, we know you're looking for this product, we currently don't carry it, take a look at these other products via a banner? All things you can set up through third-party search via merchandising campaigns. If it's a situation of a common misspelling, a did you mean report will shine the light on those areas of opportunity. So what are customers commonly misspelling? Honestly, no need to display a did you mean each time they type in the improper spelling. Take them to what they're looking to get. So synonyms helps build that out as well. Both these reports are worth going through maybe once a month, once a quarter, just to keep a pulse on what customers are looking for and what changes have occurred within the user behavior. Automated SEO, this correlates to the report for popular referring queries. So SearchSpring is obviously, or third-party search providers are obviously harvesting tons of data in terms of how customers are engaging with the website. You can take this data and leverage it into a competitive advantage, mainly because search engine providers, they don't, nor do they index your search result pages themselves. So by creating a dynamic result page, using a subdomain, leveraging the top 25 most popular queries customers are entering, that starts with A, B, C, all the way through Z in any number, you can identify areas of opportunity for organic and even paid SEO. So if someone were to search for something more longer-tailed unique within the site, SearchSpring or a third-party search provider builds a dynamic landing page for that query. It's on a subdomain, it's then crawled and indexed. Logic states that if it's being searched routinely within the site, 9 times out of 10 there'd be additional traffic searching that same query within Yahoo, Google, and Bing. And again, we're just leveraging the data collected via search solution into a competitive advantage to help drive additional traffic to the site. So the referring query activity report, excuse me, spoiler alert, okay, there we go. This report right here identifies what are customers searching for within what search engine, how many referrals are you getting to the site per month off of that query. Something that CPC strategy could leverage in terms of also applying that keyword or that query string to a campaign within Amazon, within Google Shopping, any of the outlets that you're trying to optimize within. And at the end of the day, what does all of this do? If you're driving more traffic to the website, you're not seeing an equal boost in conversions, time to lift up the hood and see if there's an internal area of opportunity within site functionality. So are you flirting with customers or are you converting? Time tested and proven. Better results or dynamic elevation of product rank engages the customer, helps them find what they're looking for more efficiently. They can't find it, they can't buy it. Capturing data to better understand user intent. It comes down to the philosophy of learn from your users, let them dictate operations, let your site dictate its reason for existence. And if you can follow in line with what customers are telling you, lifetime of your organization will be a lot more solid. Also personalization. It was huge. At all the conferences we went to this year, everybody from the rooftops was screaming personalization. How can you make your shopping experience personalized and engaged for the visitor? So to do some of those things, we can look at creating promotional banners, applying a product badge. So this product is new, this product is featured, this product is on sale. You can also use badges to highlight inventory control. You can see some of those at like llbean.com. 3 left, 2 left, last 1. Those are badges that help encourage the conversion to occur. Don't wait. We're running out of stock. Buy this item now. Optimization. Again, customers are pretty weird. I mean, there's not a one-size-fits-all search solution. Everyone's going to look for your products in a different light: T-shirt, short sleeve, V-neck, crew neck. Realistically, it's all the same query. Help them get to where they're going via these tools. And then organic referral opportunities. If a longer tail keyword is routinely being searched and it's driving traffic to the site, capitalize on that sooner rather than later, because there's some sort of branding within that brand or some sort of new product being released that's triggering users to search the way they are. So try and be the early adopter or the innovator in that paid SEO process. And then if we increase traffic, you need to have improved relevancy. There's no point in sending customers to your website if they're just going to bail anyway. So you have to make sure that the internal functionality is dialed in. For retargeting purposes, you can use some of these tools built into third-party search consoles to encourage engagement, track efficiency, and personalize. So if it's a specific brand, more than one product coming up within the result, you can create a custom landing page. You can handpick what products you want to be gravitating towards the top of the results. You can also, again, incorporate product badging or banners. And in the event that you're directing traffic to a single product, well, via all the data collected through third-party search providers, they also have the ability to recommend similar products or high-converting cross-selling items. So somebody who purchases this shirt and these jeans also buys this belt. So 7 out of 10 customers who bought these items in conjunction with one another also bought or viewed this belt. Kind of piggybacking on badging again, based off of the trigger somebody enters into your search bar or based off of the category page that they select, you can create a customizable banner to help push promotions internal, encourage the customer to become a log in, get a discount, leave a review, get a coupon, spend XYZ, get free shipping. Whatever you're leveraging in terms of a competitive advantage for sales promotions, you can get that point across within the result pages as well. And understanding your shoppers. So data feed is never done. Much like writing, much like fashion, you're never going to have a finalized complete data feed. Customers are always going to be giving you cues for where areas of opportunity exist. Again, if you can mine a popular search or popular keyword report for attribute-based queries, this example right here shines the light on customers are looking to drill down off of age or gender attributes for products. So they want to know what's men's, what's women's, what's youth. Same thing can be said for color or so shopper engagement, depending on that, customize what's being searched, what's being crawled via this third-party search provider, enhance the relevancy. Dictate what refinements are being displayed to help dynamically narrow results. Identify areas of opportunity once a month, once a quarter, scale efforts. And SearchSpring seems like a solution. Here is some contact information, but that is a good overview of what we do, how we do it, and how we complement CPC efforts. So at this point in time, we'll turn the floor back over to Mary, and we'll start answering questions.
Great. Thank you so much, Kyle. I think we focus so much on pushing people to our sites that we often forget that it's really important that once someone's on your site, that they're actually finding what they're looking for. And so those are some great points to highlight how people can do that and how you can do that for your site and impact conversions positively and click-throughs positively and just make sure that your users are finding what they're looking for. So I'm going to dive right into some of these questions because we do have quite a few. And again, like I mentioned, if we are unable to answer your question, we'll do our best, but we just want to keep our time reserved. And everybody's got plans for later today. So if we don't have an opportunity to answer your question, feel free to reach out via social using the hashtag CPC webinar, or you can reach out to myself or Kyle, and we'll be sure to answer any questions that you have or ones that come up. So diving right into it, one of the most interesting questions that I was reading about is people are curious how you can update site search when it comes to products which are out of stock or items that are frequently go in and out of stock, and how can you address that issue?
Okay, that's a good question. I think, again, there's no one-size-fits-all answer to that solution. Bottom line is you want to have options. So if something is going in and out of stock routinely, is it even pertinent to display an out-of-stock banner if you know you're getting it back in and it's not going to cause a lag in delivery? Or do you want us to look at levels of stock quantity? So if we have a product and there's only 30% inventory available, maybe we should downgrade it a little bit just to ensure that users don't come across a product that they're not able to finalize the conversion for. The other things that we can do is if something does go out of stock, we can dynamically adjust the Buy Now button to more info. And then at that point within the product page, they can sign up for some sort of update or reminder when that product is back in stock. So options are the name of the game. Testing numbers make sense. What is getting you the best results? We are offering scalable solutions to solve that pain point.
Awesome. Thanks. I'm sure that that's very helpful to people who have things that go in and out of stock frequently. I know you touched on this a little before, but I think someone is a little unclear on this. And so how does site search actually impact SEO for sites like Google?
So because search results themselves, search engine spiders don't crawl or index those pages, they're not really losing any organic SEO juice. Now, I can't talk on every single third-party search provider in terms of how they finalize the integration, but with us, we use a technology called Ajax. And Ajax just layers our solution on top of what's provided out of the box from your platform. So when a search engine spider does come to crawl or index, let's say we're powering category pages, they will see 3 to 4 lines of Ajax code built using Java. Search engine spiders don't crawl or index JavaScript, so they move on to crawl and index all the content that was available pre-integration via SearchSpring. So we don't remove any functionality, we don't remove any content with our integration. And so in terms of what's being crawled and indexed is everything below the fold. The other portion of what's indexable are the pages created via the automated SEO cloud. And those pages are being pushed onto a subdomain, and it's using a hosted solution versus an Ajax, which allows a search engine spider to crawl and index those specific pages. I hope that makes sense. I hope that answers the question. If not, we can delve into that a little further.
Yeah, and again, if there are additional questions related to that, people can reach out personally, and we'll be happy to follow up with that. Kind of two similar questions, which are interesting. Just kind of on the holistic macro level, why would you say that site search is really important for online retailers to actually use on their site?
Well, number one, because customers at search have the highest potential for a conversion. They're your motivated buyers. They know what they're looking for. If you can help them find that item more efficiently, get them from point A to point B with minimum pain points or hurdles to cross, you can boost your conversion rates. You can cultivate customer loyalty due to an enhanced shopping experience, and you can collect actionable data along the way. So search is basically your online form of customer service. If you think about somebody who works in a brick-and-mortar store, an employee who's been there 1 day versus an employee who's been there 3 years, who's going to provide you the best results? Probably the person who's been there longer, who has similar experiences to correlate to the question. And that's why the learning search aspect is important on top of optimizing the overall search functionality.
Awesome, and that's a super apropos analogy, so I appreciate that one. Kind of on the other end of that spectrum, this is a really interesting question from Joss. He kind of wants to know, what would a bad site search functionality look like on someone's site? So what should I avoid, maybe?
Yeah, there's a blog out there called E-commerce Outtakes, and they sometimes will shine the light on who's doing things right and who's doing things wrong. Most recently, they looked at Hurley.com. Hurley obviously sells shorts, T-shirts, swimwear. Now, one of their main categories is called board shorts. But if you were to do a search for board shorts, it doesn't yield any results. And the reason for that is because everything in their product data feed is listed as swim trunks. So they're not mapping variant queries to the original keyword they have listed in the feed. And a lot of people are not finding the items that they're looking for as a result. So Jeff Hurley actually commented in that blog article saying, hey, I know it's a pain point, but we're working on it. But yeah, that's a good example of someone, well-known name, big brand, millions of visitors per month with a poor site search. And they,
wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. So bad site search is out there.
Just out of curiosity, do you know what they lead people to when they're querying that pretty popular board shorts search?
It's a flat dead end. Sorry, we could not find what you're looking for. Yeah.
Wow, okay, so that's a really good example of what not to do.
Yeah. I think another thing
you want
to do, if I were Hurley, I would customize my no result page to be a little more engaging. So even if you couldn't find what you're looking for, hey, we couldn't find any products that associate to board search. Please try a different search. Here's a phone number to call us if you want to place an order over the phone. Here's an email address to reach out to us if you want to contact support. And here's maybe our top 5 or 10 most popular categories. Not just a flat dead end, something engaging. If you're going to swing the bat, it's better to get a foul than a strike, I would say.
I love the analogies. Awesome. That's super helpful, and I hope, Joss, if you have any additional questions on that, you reach out. So we've got some questions when you were talking about user preferences. So what would be an example of a seasonal query or something that would be particular that someone might say? You got me on there, Kyle?
I'm with you, Mary. I'm sorry, I lost you for a quick second. What would be a seasonal query that?
So, if I'm looking for something, what would be a seasonal query or a unique query? How do those change, I think, is the question. Why would you change it, and what would be an example of some of those changes?
Okay, good question. So let's say we're an apparel site. We sell men's, women's, and youth apparel. In that inventory lineup, we sell shoes to include running shoes, casual shoes, athletic shoes, boots, work, and casual. If I were to search for men's boots, and we're in the summer months, you may see something like cowboy boots come towards the top, whereas if I were to search for boots in the wintertime, you may see something like Uggs come up. Just because we're trying to identify within the query for boots, we know that these 500 products are correlated to that query. But what product gets clicked on the most, what product gets purchased the most, and as user preferences evolve over time, certain products are dynamically elevated and downgraded. So user behavior dictates where products rank via a learning search solution.
Awesome. That's super helpful. Kind of on a related note, people are trying to qualify what's most important. I have a question here about the importance of the site search functionality as opposed to using a drop-down or using that side navigation. Which one of those would you prioritize, or maybe just all of them are equally important, and how would a retailer determine that?
Sure. So the question is about where should I put my refinements? What's the best practice there? Sometimes imitation is the greatest form of flattery. I hate to say copy these people, but Amazon, Walmart, Best Buy, eBay, they're putting millions and millions of dollars into R&D. They're doing what they're doing for a reason. Customers are used to shopping via those left-hand navigation, via those attributes. So if you want to kind of reinvent the wheel and place them somewhere else, you may confuse the user, and you may see shopping cart fails occur as a result. If it's about should I optimize category pages versus search pages, I would say they're both equally important. Maybe even a little more so the search page, because that is where customers have a higher potential to convert. While you may get more usage on the category navigation side, it's not outside of the box for me to see a client that gets 15% of their users engage in the site search, but search conversions represent 45 to 50% of their overall revenue. So I hope that answers the question.
Sure, yeah, definitely. That's super helpful. Kind of in line with that similar question, someone's asking me, how does site search impact LPO, that is landing page optimization, and what are some best practices to integrate those two together?
Sure. So if you're using a search result page as a landing page for paid SEO campaigns, you can customize and personalize that page via the tools built into the back-end system. So outside of our universal learning algorithm elevating product rank off of specific attributes, we can basically say, okay, within this page, here are the top 20 products that I want to display. Here are the items that I don't want into this result page for this click promotion. You can badge the items that are on sale, maybe going out of stock. We can dynamically remove the products that do go out of stock over time, and then you can track conversion rate more efficiently via that customizable landing page. It's all about engagement, and then taking data of what customers are gravitating towards and leveraging that towards campaign number 2, 3, or 4.
Very cool. I have a question from Kim. She wants to know about category navigation. Just how specific, how granular should you get with that navigation and putting that in your menu?
I would say as granular as possible. The more data, the better. And you never know what you're also going to want to assign as a searchable field, or what you're going to want to use specifically for a refinement option. You can also use some of these attributes within a customized compare feature. So if people are looking at two similar items side by side, what attribute is going to solidify the purchase decision between A or B? And over time, you can identify what are the most beneficial attributes to assign as a filter via a popular filter report. So what are customers drilling down off of the most frequently? And you can assess whether or not it's an engaging refinement to display. Vice versa, you can also identify what attributes should I then start adding to my data feed based off of what customers are searching for. So if they are searching for attribute-specific color, size, brand, material, that's a call to action to then incorporate that data into the feed and allow your third-party search solution to build a refinement option off of it.
Awesome. Very cool. Very simple question here from Susan. She wants to know, what's a parent versus a child attribute?
So it would be something like a sofa. A sofa would fall into the category of furniture. Under furniture, you may have child attributes that helps drill down those results even further. So a child attribute for furniture would be something like table, sofas, chairs, rugs. And then once you drill down, let's say you click sofas, love seat, sectional, sofa sleeper, those would be the child attributes. So parent, child, parent, child, child. And you kind of separate your hierarchy within the product data feed. So if I have an individual love seat, it would look like furniture, comma, furniture, comma, sofa, comma, furniture, comma, sofa, comma, chair. And that's how you drill down via hierarchy. And cool. we have dollar-based articles on how to format that data within our searchbring.com website.
So yeah, great. Check out those resources if you have additional questions on that way. This is kind of an interesting question. Is there a way to use site search for retargeting, kind of using that data to set up retargeting ads or something like that?
Yes. Some people will create retargeting campaigns based off of common misspellings. Some people will create retargeting campaigns off of common long-tail queries that are entered into the site. Again, you can use merchandising tools to customize the way that results are being served when a customer does click into a multi-product result page, or you can leverage data collected from previous shopper engagements to identify relevant cross-sell, upsell opportunities within the product page or the checkout page. So you can use the search data to identify areas of opportunity that your competition may not be optimizing off of. You can use the previous data we've collected from engagements to elevate specific products or identify relevant cross-sell, upsells. And top to bottom, customize and personalize the result page you're directing them to.
Lovely. I've got a question here kind of surrounding the synonym section that you touched on earlier. Just kind of how often do people actually use synonyms or misspellings when they're searching on sites?
Yeah, honestly, you can't solve a problem until you know it exists. So once we go live on a client's website, for the first 3-4 months, once a month, I'll jump on the phone with my clients to identify are common misspellings occurring, are variant searches occurring. Let's add these synonyms, let's add these redirects, there's inventory opportunity. Once the foundation is in place, then it's probably beneficial to jump through that report maybe once a quarter thereafter. Unless you have a huge overhaul to your inventory and there's a whole bunch of new products that we need to map variations to, it's an application that you can set and forget.
Very cool. So kind of two similar questions that go back in line with the out-of-stock question that you answered earlier. One person asking about if you're adding new products, how that integrates, and then if you have products, and kind of going back to your Hurley example, that are people looking for something that you don't sell, or maybe they're looking for something from your competition, how would you address that with site search?
Okay. Let me take a look. So what was the first portion of your question again there, Mary? I got the second part.
Sure. So if you have new products, so if you're adding new products to your site, maybe you have a new line of board charts or something, and then if people are looking for products that you don't have, or maybe you sell Hurley board charts, but they're looking for another brand, how would you address that with search?
Okay. So in terms of identifying newly added products or changes to inventory, third-party search solutions re-index your product data feed routinely, as often as once per hour. So each hour, each day, you're going to be able to identify what has been added, what's out of stock, what's changed in terms of popularity, and that's going to allow that learning algorithm to adjust product rank accordingly. In terms of identifying inventory opportunity, that comes from a Zoe result report or from a Jameen report. So what are customers looking for that they're not finding? Why are they finding it? And your example is because you don't carry that brand. So if that were to be something that we would come across on a call, reviewing your data, a couple options. Is there enough demand to justify that inventory expansion? If there's not, how can we eliminate this from occurring or from presenting the customer with a flat dead end? What can we provide to them that is still engaging, that can still capture that conversion? And we can A/B test a few things there. So maybe we take them to similar products. to have a retail price and a sale price associated to it. And if you want a badge based off of featured items, you can create an additional field within your product data feed. Go through and create some sort of logic for us to identify featured products. So maybe dropping a 1 or a yes in the cell for that featured column. Inventory, quantity available. How many products do you have left? If it's under a certain percent, maybe we can dynamically create that 3 left, 2 left, last 1 badge. So it all correlates to the product data feed, what information is available for us to connect the dots to dynamically display that badge. Does that answer the question? I hope that makes sense.
Definitely, definitely. And I've got some kind of follow-up questions based on that related to how you were mentioning about personalization. How would you change badges based on personalization and queries?
How would I change badges based on personalization and queries? Well, it depends how your product and what type of products are you selling. Is it a product that you need to reorder, like the life cycle ends 6 months, 8 months? Is it something that you buy once and you never buy again? Is it a replacement part? You really just want to badge areas of opportunities to solidify that sale. So if I'm selling car parts and we pull down off a year, make, and model, I may want to badge that this part has a schematic available. That way you can map your problem when you're troubleshooting your auto repair and to make sure that this is the official part that I need to fix the problem. If it's a garment item, maybe you want to badge multiple colors available, maybe it's new, maybe it's a bestseller, maybe it's featured in a specific magazine or worn by a specific celebrity. If it's a golf club, if you have left and right available, maybe something you want to badge. So whatever's going to help solidify that purchasing decision or whatever is good to know type information, create a badge for it. Really, it's the wild, wild west. I don't think anybody has badging down to complete science. We can test a lot of things. So we work together, identify some areas of opportunity. What would be a relevant badge to display? How can we connect the dots in terms of leveraging your existing data feed to dynamically apply those badges? And what's going to increase conversion rates?
I love the ABT point right there. Always be testing. That's so important no matter what you're doing across the board. You can have an idea of what might perform, but it might be the opposite of what you think, or things that you hadn't even contemplated being a best practice can turn out really help pushing that bottom line. So that's so important, and I definitely agree on that one. Running out of time here, so I'm just going to have time for a couple more questions. So if you have any questions, now's the time to squeeze them in before we start moving on with our day. And so a couple last ones, and questions about services that are good to work with site search. So if you're using a search spring or a similar third-party site search service, what would be something additional that would work really well there, or you would advocate retailers use?
Well, CPC strategy all day, number one, because we give you quality,
nice.
actionable, tangible data of what is a good product to optimize off of. I would say retargeting, like email retargeting, is beneficial as well. You can, again, customize the products that are being recommended within each specific email. Design agencies, we work with a ton of design agencies that if they're going through a redesign, they want to just from the ground up enhance every single aspect of the site. We work with data normalization managers. But SEO is king. We give you the best data to help scale SEO efforts. So I would say that would be one. And then two would probably be email recapture organizations. So the Brontos, the list tracks. Because again, we help identify areas of opportunity to scale personalization and to track conversions.
Awesome. And just to elaborate on that plug, although I appreciate it, Kyle, even if you're not using CPC, which we're maybe not the best fit for everybody, definitely good ways to get traffic to your site are going to be Google Shopping, Amazon. That's a good way to get some traffic out there on search, and then you can optimize those searchers once they've actually reached your site to push conversions higher using site search. I think that is about all the questions that we have time for. So again, if you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out to myself or Kyle or CPC. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We really appreciate your time and your questions. It's been a great conversation. And thank you again to Kyle. I definitely personally learned a lot today, and I am excited to have further conversations about site search and how it impacts conversions and just the overall bottom line for online retailers.